What is up, everyone? Mark here with another Orange Vest Extra, and I know we normally do something related a little bit more to Blue Apron, but I can't leave you hanging and not do something sweet to end the week. So today we're going to do chocolate chip banana bread. Now, we did a quick bread last week with the orange cinnamon swirl bread. This one is even easier, I promise. So let's go take a look. All right, before we get started, I just wanted to take a minute to thank you guys again so much for continuing to support the channel and watching the videos. I hope you'll give the videos a thumbs up when you like them. I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook right now, then I hope you'll go over to youtube.com/markberm and subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, then you can click the red button down below to subscribe or the watermark down in the corner. And let's get started. So we've got 1 1/4 cups of chocolate chips. We've got 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour separate. That's to toss the chocolate chips in, and that helps keep them from sinking to the bottom of the banana bread, as is a common problem. We've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We've got 1/4 cup of plain yogurt. We've got 6 tablespoons of butter melted. We've got 2 eggs. We've got somewhere between 1 1/4, 1 1/2 cups of mashed bananas. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 3/4 cup of sugar. We have 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And we have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, I said this was going to be easier than the one we did last week. So if you haven't caught the orange cinnamon swirl cake, you can click the card up in the corner for the link to that video. This one is even easier. We're not using a stand mixer. We're just going to put everything together. This is the sort of quick bread that all the dry stuff goes together, all the wet stuff goes together, and then you start mixing the wet stuff into the dry stuff. Same story with most quick breads. These should freeze well. So instead of doing a standard 9-inch loaf, I'm going to do 4 5 by 3-inch loaves. Again, same thing that I did last week with the orange cinnamon swirl bread. So a similar approach I'm going to take this week, even though it still took 40 minutes out of the usual 55 to make the 4 small loaves. I'm still going to check these after about 20 minutes once they're in the pan. I'm also going to divide up the batter by weight so that I know that I'm making 4 equal-sized loaves. But first thing we want to do is add our sugar to our flour, add our baking soda, and our salt. And we're just going to whisk this together to combine it. I want to take our chocolate chips, and we're going to add our flour, and we're just going to toss that. And you just want to get the chips sort of coated in the flour. Again, this helps keep them from sinking to the bottom of the banana bread as it cooks. And we can set that aside. Then we want to mix our eggs. I'm going to beat the eggs a little bit first. Now we're going to add the butter. The vanilla. And the yogurt. And again, this is plain yogurt. You don't really want to use flavored yogurt in here, or even vanilla yogurt would kind of contribute a bit of an off flavor. It's just sort of helps add moisture to the finished banana bread. And the bananas, of course. And we just want to get this kind of mixed to combine. Everything is going to look lumpy, and that is okay. All right, we're going to start mixing in the wet into the dry. Do a little bit at a time. And this is one time we don't want to overmix this batter. If we overdo it, you could end up with kind of a tough, chewier, dense, heavy bread, and we're hoping for something a little bit lighter here. And really, we're just trying to make sure there are no more pockets of dry ingredients in there. Okay, we're going to fold in the chocolate chips. All right, we've got a nice chunky kind of batter here. We are ready to put this into some tins and get it in the oven. I'm going to clean a couple of things up and then we'll come right back here. Okay, so we have our prepared baking tins. Now, for the cinnamon swirl bread last time, we greased and parchment lined. This time they are greased and floured, and that's important. You want to make sure you do this. The reason that you tend to flour things when you grease them is that that extra flour sticking to the sides of the container help with the rising. It helps the edges of whatever you're trying to bake grip to the sides as it moves up. So do not skip that step. So we've got 4 greased and floured mini loaf pans here. And I've weighed out the batter and it came out to 1,474 grams for me. So to divide it out into 4, it's going to be about 368 grams per tin. You'll definitely want to get a kitchen scale and weigh this out yourself if you plan on going this method. The weight of your batter is sure to vary from mine based on, you know, how big the bananas are, how much hydration is in the air, in the flour. There are so many variables, so just make sure you don't necessarily go by the numbers that I'm doing here today. So we're going to fill these about as evenly as we can and get them into the oven. All right, that's close enough. We're going to get these into a 350-degree oven, and as I said, with the full-size 9-inch loaf pan, you could expect it to take about 55 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. When I did the mini loaf pans the last time, the recipe called for 55 minutes. It still ended up taking 40 minutes at 350, so we'll see how these come out. I'm going to check them after 20 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we're back. So similar to the last time, it did take 40 minutes at 350. Now these have been out for about 5 minutes cooling in the tins. We're going to pop them out of the tins and cool them on the wire rack the rest of the way for about 20 or 30 minutes before we dig in. Not sure how easily these are going to come out. Oh, perfect. All right, so we're going to let these cool the rest of the way. Like I said, you know, another 20-30 minutes, and we'll come back and check them out. Okay, we're back. These have been cooling now for about 20 minutes-ish. They're still warm to the touch, but I think it's cool enough to slice. And indeed, we have chocolate chips throughout. Didn't all sink to the bottom. Nice and moist. Good banana flavor. Gotta love chocolate. I don't think you can go wrong with chocolate chip banana bread. Try the recipe. Thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.